So wherever you are underneath the house, just keep checking everywhere. See all this stuff here? I've got to clean all that up, get this 2x4 out of here. Here's a little piece of the TJI floor joist. That's the floor joist up there. TJI, because it looks like an I. It's an I beam, like an H. Here's another little piece of it. See how it's dadoed in right here, and it's glued, and it's dadoed right there, and it's glued. And these are just little thin pieces of plywood. See there? On both sides, and then that's OSB plywood. And you see that right there? They provide you knockouts. So every once in a while in your I-beam, you can see knockouts like that in case you want to pull a wire or put a pipe through there. Can you do that? Yeah, you can. You don't want to cut holes out. Use those. And if you have to cut a hole through here, you better check with an inspector first before you do that, because it'll weaken that. I know certain ones. I've had to do that one time in a commercial warehouse building, and the TJIs were about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, and we could cut certain areas of round holes to get air conditioning ducts through there and stuff, but we could only put them in certain areas, and then we can only do them so far apart and all that kind of stuff. So you want to check that before you start cutting holes. And even if you see look at that, it's like they left a big old weed in here. Get that stuff out. That's termite stuff, and termite food. And I was walking along here, and if you see any roots, big old roots that are sticking out of the ground, I pulled one up that was right there and put it in the bag. And so, I want everything to look like this, all nicely swept off, all nicely picked up. That's how I want it. Okay, and you can do that. It's going to take a while. Okay, but you might as well do it. I'll clean up all that. I'll sweep all that up. I'll sweep all that up, take all that stuff. There's some more stuff up there. Every place down here, I'll check, and I'll get my construction light, and I'll flip it around this way, and I'll go back up in there and crawl around way up underneath the house, and I'll check all that stuff, because I want to make sure everything is picked up and clean. Okay, just like this here. See, here's one of those big old huge bolts. Look how big that bolt is. And all of those are the nut, and all of those were loose. Can you believe that? Well, I got a big crescent wrench, and if you don't have a big crescent wrench, you can take a big pair of channel locks and go over that. And hopefully this side's not going to spin when I tighten this side up. But if so, I can grab it with the channel lock or something, and then get my my crescent wrench in there and get them tight that way. But see how I've got this all nicely cleaned up, that 2x4 out of there, all this stuff cleaned up, the bolts, those bolts that were tripping hazards down here, I'm taken out of there. This is all clean. Got this side all clean. Over here, picked up all that stuff, made my trail through here, cleaned that stuff up. It's nice and easier to walk through here. Got all my wood and stuff picked up and cleaned up. That's how you want it when you're done. Now see here, it took me a while. Got it all cleaned up, picked up everything, and picked up everything as best I could in here, then put some dirt, rearranged everything over there. I didn't cover up the stuff. I got it in my bucket like this stuff here. Okay, and once I put it in my bucket, then I fill up one of my concrete bags, and I just filled one up, and I've got it sitting way over there, and I'm ready to fill that one up. But I find it's easier to put the stuff in the bucket, and then I can arrange the big stuff in there, and then pour the rest of the stuff out of the bucket in there. And see, I came across more of these brackets. I just bent those over. Get them out of my way. I had some more stuff in my way. I bent those out. And then see all these nails I found in the dirt. And granted, these are to go in a nail gun, okay? But I don't have a nail gun. So why am I saving these anyway? Anyways, well, I can take these like this. And these are just plastic deals here. And I can kind of break these off, and I can use them for nails. You might say, oh, Joe, you and your saving things. Hey, there's one right there. And have you gone to the store lately? See, these are just little plastic bits that kind of stay on there, and on some of them you can take a pair of pliers, or I got just some dikes here. Hang on to that and it comes right off. See? Nice clean nail. And go to the store and price the nails and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you know, I don't use, and sometimes the little things slide right off. I don't use nails very often, but you know, when I get ready to, I can just pull out my little bag or my bucket of nails I have in the garage and use them. And so, see? There's those 5 nails, and I've got all these that I've already cleaned off. See, I can use those. Those are framing nails, even though they're 18 years old, 19 years old. And I find them down underneath the house. I can clean them off and use them. Okay. Another tip from Joe. It'll save you some money, because you go to the store and buy some 16 vinyl sinkers, just a pound of them, and you'll see what I'm talking about for savings. If you come across those nails, save them, spend a few minutes. You saw it didn't take very long. You can bend these, snap them off, you know, however you want. Get them off. And sometimes you can pull them off. And other times you gotta just cut it. It's just plastic. You know? Hang on to it. Okay? That's just a collar. That just holds them together. And sometimes others might be harder to do, but just check them out. If you ever happen to come across some nails, you know, here I'm just twisting it, pull it off the end on that one, and then on this little piece I can just grab it right there. Kaboom. I'm recycling the nails. Now see, that gives me a nice little ledge to put my charger, and if I needed 2 different chargers I could plug in 2 different ones there. And yes, I've got my construction light down here. Even though I installed some lights, there's always going to be areas where you're not going to be able to see. Obviously I got those so that I could, you know, a light here, a light in the next bay, a light in the following bay, and I'm going to end up putting some in here. You keep watching my videos, I'll make videos of that and put those on my channel as well. And it gives me enough light to walk down here and do different things, but if I need to, I can bring my construction light down here. And there's one important reason why I brought my construction light down here, today, and I'm gonna show you that right now. I'm not gonna do anything with it just yet, but you'll just have to watch another video of that. And you see, this is where I walk through, and look what's in my way. You see that right there? That's a foundation bolt. Look at that. There's one there, and there's one right there. I'm surprised I have not tripped over that in the dark yet, or walking back and forth through here. That is an ankle buster for sure, a tripping hazard right there. And I could fall down on my face, hurt myself, or somebody else coming down here. And I'm going to show you how to take those, how to do away with those with just that later on. You'll have to watch that. That'll be a separate video. Of course, I'll put that on my channel, and we'll see if I can remove those foundation bolts with that hammer. Really? Yeah.